Biden's lawyer, Bob Bauer, was on the Sunday show's Face of the Nation here. This is his attack. Take a listen.
The special counsel opens by thanking the president for making the scheduled appointment. It could have been rescheduled given international events. Then he proceeds to say, I'm going to be taking you through events that are many years ago. He flags that. So all I can ask is your best recollection. And that is precisely what the president did. He engaged, he answered the questions, and the special counsel's decision to cherry pick in a very misleading way some of the references that you're discussing here is an example of what I call a really shabby work product.
Okay. So the special counsel said, I'm going to be talking you through events that are many years ago. So all I can ask is your best recollection. We all say that as lawyers who are deposing somebody about an event in their past. That is a reference to where were the documents? When did you take them? What documents are there? Where did you store them? Then where did they go? That is not a reference to do your best to remember when you were vice president. Very clearly, the special counsel and everyone in the room had a basic understanding that the sitting president of the United States would have a clear memory of certain big events, and to the best of your recollection is not some excuse to not remember the basic facts of your life. That is such a weak defense, Victor, that it just shows me they've got nothing. They can't defend it.
They can't. And if he's challenging the veracity in some sense of the special prosecutor or counsel, why don't they just then release the exact transcript and see whether he stuttered, or even get the audio and let us hear exactly how he answered those questions and the other questions that aren't even mentioned in the news accounts. And here's his counsel who's trying to convince us that this is unfair to even suggest that he had memory lapses when the president came out and immediately on news of this development, he comes into an evening press conference and he confuses the president of Egypt and Mexico. After a week in which he's confused, he said that the president of Germany, the chancellor of Germany, Helmut Kohl, is still alive, as is Francois Mitterrand. And that's not, I mean, how can he get out there and say that? I know why he did it, but it's not going to convince anybody. And so,
okay, but now what they're doing is trying to say it was politically motivated, even though they never said when Hur got appointed, that's a partisan hack. We can't trust him. Why'd you appoint him? Never. It wasn't until they read his results that they said, he should not have been entrusted with this job. Okay, so that's number one. But secondly, what I heard over the weekend was from people like Joe Scarborough, James Carville, Merrick Garland failed. And some even suggesting Merrick Garland's got to go. Now there's more and more reporting that he's going to be a one-term AG if Biden gets reelected, that it was his responsibility to protect Joe Biden from this report by, number one, not appointing a special counsel. They don't believe one should have been appointed. Number two, making sure it was a Democrat. And number three, if all else fails, editing out the most damaging contents from the report so that the American people could not see it, dovetailed with a report in Politico now that behind the scenes, Joe Biden is very angry with Merrick Garland for, among other things, not moving faster on the Trump prosecutions because he feels, reportedly, that they could have been already tried by now to completion, thus preventing Donald Trump from getting the nomination or certainly getting into the White House if he's convicted and potentially sitting in a jail cell. All of which, like, they're saying it openly now. This is their complaint about Garland and what Joe Biden says behind the scenes, just owning the blatant politicization, I can't, that word just troubles me, of the Department of Justice, which is what the Republicans have been saying all along, and they have been denying.
It's even worse than that, because we know even before the special counsel's report that there were rumors that Joe Biden had been angry. And why didn't Garland? This has been going on, these leaks, for about a year. But more importantly, Fani Willis, we've told there was no coordination between any of these state, local, and federal prosecutions. Now we understand that Mr. Nicholas Wade, the chief prosecutor that she appointed, her paramour, went to the White House and perhaps, they don't quite give us the name, met with a White House counsel and billed the taxpayers of Georgia $250 an hour for being tutored or mentored by a White House representative. And then, of course, also they had consultations with the January 6th committee about witnesses and how to prepare them and examine them. So from the get-go, this was a weaponization. And, you know,
Now they're calling it out. I mean, now they're admitting it.
They didn't say it. They didn't say a word when Jeff Sessions had to step down, and we had Robert Mueller, and nobody said a word on the left. They thought that was the greatest thing in the world that happened. And when you look at the political affinities of Letitia James and Fani Willis and Alvin Bragg and the larger family of Jack Smith and his wife working on some publicity and things for but about Michelle Obama. All of them start with the premise that the prosecutor is left-leaning, the judges in all of these cases, maybe one, but most of them are left-leaning, and the jury pools of these big cities are going to be left-leaning, and they're delighted about it. Just like during Robert Mueller, they were talking about the hunter-killer team, the all-stars, the pros. They were also happy about the Andrew Weissman team that was going to go after Donald Trump. And they're just like little children. They don't look at any symmetry.
So just to point this out, Adam Schiff, who's possibly the worst on this front, the biggest hypocrite in Congress, and that's saying something. In 2018, when Trump was out there attacking special counsel Mueller on the fake Russiagate investigation, which exonerated Trump in large part, not entirely for everything, but Russiagate was a lie. Adam Schiff back then denounced attacks on the finding of Mueller as, quote, a very underhanded effort to besmirch his character. Flash forward to now, this is a quote. Special counsel Robert Hur is, quote, a hack. He's a hack. But you're not supposed to besmirch the character of the special counsels. That's the way it's supposed to work, Victor.
Somebody should ask them the question, what did they want the special counsel to do, given the evidence? Are they angry at him because he did what? Because he said Joe Biden got off? Are they happy with him, angry? I don't know what they did. He didn't indict Joe Biden. That's what they wanted. So half the time they say there wasn't enough evidence. And they can never quite figure out what the narrative is going to be because they wanted him not to be indicted. They knew he was basically guilty. The special counsel went through all the evidence, and he decided not to indict him. They should have been, perfectly happy, except now they are stuck with the idea why he didn't indict him, because he wasn't cognizant. And therefore you have to be cognizant. Yeah. And you have to be cognizant.
So that leads us to the discussion that you raised earlier, which is now what? Because now we're getting thought pieces, even from the left, that Joe Biden can't do it, that they really, really, really need an alternative, and that for the good of the party and the country, he should step down. Even National Review had a good piece today by Jim Garrity talking about, and I think he was citing another writer there, forgive me, I can't remember who it was, but talking about how at this point, Kamala Harris actually might be a better alternative for the Democrats than Joe Biden, pointing out she's only actually 1 point below Joe Biden on the approval rating. I mean, now that's not good. They're both terrible. But at least it would remove from the Republicans the argument about mental infirmity due to age and senility. And they do need to do something about that, because the latest ABC Ipsos poll released Sunday, it was taken Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So post his Thursday night meltdown and the release of her report on Thursday, 86% of the American populace thinks Biden is too old to serve. That is up 12 points from just September. 86%. 73% of Democrats believe that. 91% of independents believe that, and virtually all Republicans, of course. But that's 73% of Dems, 91% of independents, 86% of the populace. You can't get past that, Victor. The Megyn Kelly Show is supported by Grand Canyon University. Founded in 1949, GCU is a private Christian university that's dedicated to delivering an affordable and transformative higher education. Their vibrant campus is located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. And according to niche.com, it's ranked a top 25 best campus in the country. As of June 2023, GCU offers 330 academic programs with over 270 of those online, allowing you the freedom to earn your degree on your time from wherever you are. At GCU, your degree, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, integrates the free market system and a welcoming Christian worldview. Learn more about GCU's programs, competitive tuition rates, and scholarship offers from your university counselor. They are part of the supportive graduation team who take a personalized approach to helping you achieve your academic goals, walking alongside you every step of the way. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. For more info or to enroll, visit gcu.edu. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.